Film club.
Cushy with this. Don't
Cushy
change.
with this.
Don't want to catch what you've got, you melt.
Thank you very much for joining us. That's another episode of Film Club. We're a bit rusty. Things are a little bit different this week. We obviously are not in the studio. We are isolated. But every single week in Film Club, we will still continue to
Isolate.
We'll still continue to invite you along to watch a film with us. We are still going to dive into one of cinema's best. In fact, this week, Andy and I are here to take a look at Okja. A film that last week I totally butchered the pronunciation of.
Go on. Is it?
I think last week I said Okja.
Yeah.
Because I googled it and it was
sounds like that's what she says.
No, it's Okja.
All right. Okay. So I was correct last week.
You were. Yeah, you were totally right.
You're actually telling me I'm correct.
For once, you were correct.
It's the best bit of
so Andy,
you said to me.
What's Okja all about?
The world is starving, so they need to make a food product. Food product comes from a really cool organic new super pig that they found in Chile. Or was it? Anyway, these super pigs 26 of them go around the world to these special farmers. And then we come into the world of, in South Korea, to their farmer, South Korea's farmer. I don't have his name. And then they have Misha, his granddaughter. And then you have Okja, the kind of hippo super pig. And then you get to learn how he lives, how he goes around, how she goes around. Sorry.
Yep.
And then suddenly the corporation comes back after 10 years to see how their super pigs are doing. They take Okja, and then Misha.
She ain't happy.
Nope, and she goes back to get Okja, and then it escalates.
Hilarity ensues.
Hilarity. Fucking hell! Right? Okay. So. I wasn't prepared for how much this shocked me.
Yeah, well, context for everybody first. This is a film by Bong Joon-Ho.
That's one.
Bong-Ho, sorry. Bong Joon-Ho? Bong Joon-Ho. Who we covered last week when we did Snowpiercer.
Yep.
And I promise this week I won't talk about Parasite anywhere near as much as I did last week.
Okay. I still need to watch it, so.
Interesting director who clearly has a couple of themes going that we'll get into, but
loves his Tilda Swinton.
He does love his Tilda Swinton. And to be fair, he got double Tilda Swinton in this
yes,
film.
He did.
Go on, what were the first reactions of Okja?
Going in, like you said, it was quite jovial, it was quite happy. I really enjoyed it. I loved how calm and relaxing it was. And the kind of message, living off in the environment, you can just have fun in the outdoors. That got thrown out the fucking window. Not in a bad way, not directing wise, but story wise, fucking hell. If there was any film that made me want to become a vegetarian, it was this.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, quite frankly, what's going on in the world, I won't be able to get any meat from the supermarket anyway. But other than that, fucking hell, I genuinely, after the film, our lass was on a full set of teared up tears. And I said to her, this genuinely makes me want to eat less meat a week. I try and do a thing where I do 1 day meatless. It's almost doubled that kind of amount, if not tripled. It's fucking mad.
I think that for this film is equal parts its greatest strength and its greatest weakness.
How it throws it in your face, but at the same time it does it so cleverly.
So I think
cleverly word?
It's not. It's more clever.
More clever.
But I wasn't even going to correct her on that one.
Dickhead.
The best thing it does is that it actually has a message. It's got a purpose for existing, which a lot of films don't.
Yep.
A lot of films are just there to be entertainment.
Yep.
In fact, the setup for this film could very easily have turned into just a kid's film. It could have been like, My Pet Pig and Me. And she could be, it could have been crap. Instead,
Magic Babe was alright.
It's given depth and it's given weight by the fact that it's tackling those sort of matters.
Yep.
Its biggest weakness, I think, is that it hammers you over the head with the message.
Yep.
To the point that it's too thick.
Yeah, because super pigs are thick too.
I don't think it's a film that really tasks its actors very much, but I think that they all do a good job nonetheless.
Oh, aye. I mean, what you got the ones that we know that are more prominent in the cinema at the moment, which is Tilda Swinton has just mentioned, Jake Gyllenhaal. They got Paul Dano.
As a second, Jake Gyllenhaal is having so much fun with that role.
That's mad, by the way, how he's managed to do that.
Just
what a villain
messing
as well.
About on camera. It's so funny.
But then obviously you've got the ones that are coming in as well. You have a couple of others as well. And Seo-hyun, if I've pronounced that right, is Misha. And then you got her grandfather as well, Bong, if I've pronounced that right, who's Bong, Misha's grandfather. Anyway, And yeah, I thought everyone was fantastic. I loved going to the grandfather. I love the grandfather's whole thing. How he takes her away and gets her a golden pig. He's almost like daft, but like kind of cares for her.
Yeah.
Like in that true kind of like clumsy kind of style that he has.
Yeah.
And yet you see that lovely moment where they meet up again after she sees him in the corporation, whatever corporation it is, Miranda Corporation. And you know, I think it was really cool, and his like kind of on-off chemistry with Misha. Obviously, you were mentioning Jake Gyllenhaal. I think I was thinking throughout this, he plays a fantastic antagonist. You look at something like we watched recently with we haven't done a film club, but it probably won't. Spider-Man, whatever it was, the second one.
Far From Home.
Yeah. Spoilers, but it's been out ages. He plays a really good antagonist in that. You know, it has certain things, but it's nice to see Jake Gyllenhaal come out of the role of, quite frankly, I've seen them a more like protagonist kind of role or like a neutral kind of roles, and it was really cool to see him come out there. I think it's fantastic.
So he's always been doing little bits of weird stuff.
Like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any.
Donnie Darko.
Neutral, non-season antagonist.
Whiplash. Whiplash. Nightcrawler.
Oh, okay, I take that back. Nightcrawler. Okay, yeah, okay, I take that back. He was fucking stunning. All my days, stunning in Nightcrawler. That is another episode we'll come to because it's stunning. Anyway, stunning.
As a director, he clearly just enjoys like weird characters at times, because there's no reason for Tilda Swinton to have a twin in this film, really.
But it fucking works.
But it's fun nonetheless.
I know, it fucking works.
And it's also, I liken it a little bit to when we did Snowpiercer last week and suddenly one of the characters is clairvoyant. It's that element of like, that doesn't need to be there, but you're having fun with it anyway.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't too on board with the clairvoyance, but fair.
Remember last week I mentioned that it felt like an anime?
Yes.
Snowpiercer to me felt like a script from an anime that was just turned into live action. This feels like a script from a Ghibli film. This feels like...
The start does, and the middle bits, yeah, but then... Actually, interestingly, our last said it reminds us so much of Spirited Away, like the pig scene, Find Your Pig, Find Okja, and all this.
This feels exactly like... Ghibli's mechanics and themes have always been about nature and kind of the encroachment of industry upon that nature.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we have here, is this harmony
I can see from that point, it is so much more in your face and horrifying than Ghibli films. Like, fuck me, horrifying. So let's move on from there. I think the acting was great and the characters. I mean, Misha's so fleshed out as a character. I think she's fantastic. She's got that naivety, that innocence, but at the same time, she's determined. She's got will. She's got love for Okja. I love that scene where she jumps onto his face in a thing and then she rides. She's a fantastic character.
Yeah.
She is actually, he's right. She is someone you see in Studio Ghibli films. Someone who's just like the forefront, the voice of the film, the voice of their kind of generation. Misha is that there. She's for me like the voice of. I mean, a great scene where she's going down the stairs in Seoul in South Korea, and everyone's just like corporate. Everyone's going to work. They're all grey. You have this lovely little bit of color, which is a fantastic shot, by the way. Should mention that. And she's in red or something like that, and she's walking down, just like curious about the world, wanting to find something, wanting to go about, and it's just like that innocence, but also that like kind of longing, that genuine nature about her. There's few films I've seen with a rape scene in them. Not particularly a fan of them, but I never thought the one that hit me the most was What Happened to Okja.
Yep. It's disturbing because they don't just make her a pig or an animal; they actually personify her.
And the fact it's done off camera as well, I think that I'm really happy.
The audio of it's incredible.
Yeah, it's the fact that like you look at someone's reactions to the scene, which is in some cases more horrifying of it.
Yeah.
Because Christ, if I fucking hell, I think it goes for anything. But you've seen some before. I'm thinking of the Hills of Eyes 2, which I really didn't like. I don't shit like that in film. You know, you can. I'm not saying there's better ways to display horror, but there's ways that I'd rather not that kind of stuff be in film. But at the same time, if you're going to put it in, do it in a way that he's done it there, where it's like it's not there, it's not in your face. Yes, the audio's there, and it's fucking disturbing. But you're almost like the horror comes from someone's reaction.
Yeah. Because the implicit nature of it is always going to be more impactful than a visceral one.
Very much so. Moving on from that, obviously you have the whole slaughterhouse towards end bits where Okja's coming up and you've got the stun gun, and it's just like that's the part Andy's on about, where he's on about like throwing it at your face in terms of I think
it's long before that as well. But yeah, that's definitely where it comes to a
like culminates, yeah. But it's just like that, and it's just like there's no care at all. Everything's just like treated without care, despite this girl like loving care. I came out this film and I just felt drained, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because
like I said, I think it's both. I think it's equal parts both. I think it's good because they really tried to do something.
Yeah.
But I think it's bad because I actually think they took the easy route with some of this stuff. It's a great message, but I don't think the message is. I think in some ways it's a little manipulated, and every message kind of is. Film is all about kind of audience manipulation.
Yeah.
I think that it's of the 3 films I've seen so far from Bong Joon-Ho. I promise eventually I will get that right. It'll probably take like 5 years or so. From Bong Joon-Ho, the 3 films I've currently seen from him. It probably sits in the middle. I think I like this more than Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a fraction of Parasite.
I need to watch Parasite.
You gotta remember this is me, who has severe issues with big CGI characters when it comes to like certain films, and I think that is slightly off-putting here. It's not aged CGI because it's still a very, very modern film.
Yeah.
And obviously they were probably limited by a budget, and Okja's in the film a lot.
There's one scene that threw it away for me. It was when she shot as like elastic band effect when she takes in, she runs away or something like that. I can't remember if it's in the tunnel or towards the end on the stage in the crowd, and there was like a bit of rubber band in there. Other than that, I wasn't too phased, but I get that that's you and it's something you
my own
feel strongly about.
My own stupidity. But anyway, there is Okja. You can let us know in the comments below what you thought of Okja, both the pig and the film. But Andy and I are going to be back once again next week, where we take a look at another film that I'm going to absolutely butcher the pronunciation of. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
I think you've got that, I think you said it right.
Tune in next week to find out. Till then,
Studio Ghibli.
Get watching.
Or Ghibli.
And stay isolated.
Isolate the fuck out of yourself.